I feel like it's been so long since I've sat here and filmed. Hi guys! Today's video is going to be a little different, and I kind of think my videos are going to take this turn since I am going to be starting nursing school soon. And as you can read by the title, this video is about getting into a nursing program, kind of what you need to do, what they're looking for, what they are, all kinds of stuff like that. I haven't started the program yet, so I can't tell you the specifics of actually being in the program, but I can tell you how I got from not being accepted to being accepted and that whole process, which is really stressful and hard. So I would really advise you do it only if you really want to get a nursing degree and be a registered nurse. Because the process to even just get into the school is stressful and really hard, and then the program itself is going to be extremely stressful and hard. So yeah, I've always wanted to be a nurse since I declared my major when I went to get my first bachelor's degree, and yeah, this is just everything I've ever wanted, so I'm really thankful that I was accepted into a program. And yeah, I'm just going to get into it. I literally wrote stuff down because I film on my phone, and I would usually write the stuff in my phone, but I'm filming on it. So, also I lost a nail. Love that. Okay. Sorry if this stuff is also jumbled. I didn't write anything like in order, or like, I don't know if this has an order or a theme, so just keep up with me. Also, please leave any questions down in the comments if you have any. I'll try to answer them if I know the answer. If not, I'll try to like find something to help you all. So accelerated nursing programs are different from normal nursing programs in that they are accelerated, so they are quicker, you get through them quicker. They range from 12 months to 18 months. So some are 12 months, some are 15 months, some are 18 months. And then also with all the stuff, I'm going to give you guys what my school that I'm going to, like, I'm going to give you examples. So my school does a 15-month program, but I also applied to a school that does a 12-month program, so it really depends. And then some are 18 months, but they are quicker than a normal nursing program, which also makes them harder as well. You do have to have a bachelor's degree to get accepted into a nursing program. So you have to already have a bachelor's degree. It can be in anything, but you must have completed your bachelor's degree in something. So that's like a thing for accelerated programs. As for GPA, actually we'll talk about GPA after the prerequisites. So to get accepted into a nursing program, the point of accelerated nursing programs are to just do all the nursing classes and clinicals and just do all nursing. So they don't want to focus on like the biology and the statistics and all that stuff. Like all those classes, they should be done and completed, and most schools will require these classes to be completed like for you to apply and to be accepted. I'll give you some examples. Most schools will ask for biology classes such as microbiology, human anatomy, physiology, human physiology. Those are 3 that my school required. Chemistry is usually required. Statistics is usually required. So my school required developmental psychology. I know there's a bunch of psychology classes in colleges, but yeah, mine required, all of the schools I applied to required developmental psychology. Some schools require an ethics course. My school that I'm going to doesn't require it, but I took it because some of the schools I applied to did require an ethics course, so just check your school's prerequisites. And then some schools also require sociology, like the school I'm going to required sociology, but some schools that I applied to didn't require that. So all schools are different. Make sure you just check the school's website, check the school's prerequisites, they will list them. Now for GPA, so since you are, you have to have a bachelor's degree, you will have a GPA. Most accelerated programs will require at least a 3.0 GPA. It is very competitive. I will tell you guys that I didn't graduate with a 3.0 GPA. I graduated with a 2.98. And that I really do think made me not get into some of the schools I applied to. The school that I got into requires at least a 2.8, and I think that was a big reason that I got into this school. But a lot of schools require at least a 3.0. So if you're still in school, make sure that you know, you get those grades up, and they really also look at your prerequisites, and they look at those grades too and those GPAs. Like some of the schools I applied to, they required your prerequisite classes to have a 3.0 GPA. So like all your microbiome, human physiology, human anatomy, stats, psychology, chemistry, all those had to amount to a 3.0 GPA. And a lot of, I think every school I applied to also, you couldn't have lower than a C- in your prerequisite classes. So if you took chemistry and you got a D+, you have to take it again. Most likely, that's like a lot of schools are like that. So just check on your school, but that's like very common. Schools want a higher GPA, and they want not very low grades, especially in those prerequisite courses, because those courses are going to help you in the nursing courses that you take in the nursing program. So some schools, when you like start taking classes, some of them offer fall admission, some offer like fall and spring admission, and then some also offer fall, summer, and spring admission. So it just depends. Again, look at your school that you're looking at. The school that I got accepted into accepts fall and spring applicants. I'm going into the spring applicant pool. Like I'm starting in the spring, I'm starting in January. But one school, I think one school that I applied to accepts fall, summer, and spring. I think one school only accepts fall. So it really depends. So just keep that in mind. I literally wrote applying is hard. Like it is, it's a lot of work. I remember applying to like colleges, and I don't remember it being as hard as like applying to accelerated programs. Like some of the applications that I had to do were really hard, and some of them weren't as hard, but every single one that I applied to, and almost every nursing program you apply to will require an essay or a personal statement. Some of them will look at this really closely, and then some of them will only like use this to see if you can like write. You know what I mean? Like they want to like make sure you can write an essay. But yeah, take it seriously either way. One of the schools I applied to required me to make a 3-minute video. I forget what it was about because I did this like a year ago, but yeah, one required a video. Some of them require like tests that you take. Some examples of tests are the HESI test. The HESI test is a test that pretty much is very similar to the NCLEX. And hopefully you guys are following me, because hopefully the people watching this like want to be nurses and want to get into these programs, but I'll kind of break it down a little bit. So after you complete this program, you take a test to become a registered nurse. And that gives you a license to work and be a nurse, pretty much. So you have to take the NCLEX to get your license. The HESI test is sort of a prediction of how well you'll do on the NCLEX. So some schools require you to take the HESI test, and they require a certain score or like whatever to see if you'll do good, because they want their school to have a high passing rate on the NCLEX. So they don't want someone that's going to do bad on the HESI, because that means they're going to do bad on the NCLEX most likely. It's there's like a term for it. Another test that the school that I got into, they required this if you had a GPA lower than 2.8. I didn't, so I didn't have to take this test, but it's called the TEAs, the ATI TEAs. It's pretty much a standardized multiple choice test, and it's used to determine the ability of potential students to adjust to a nursing program. So I'm guessing they pretty much, if you have a lower GPA, they wanted to see if you would be able to handle their nursing program, which makes sense because if you have a lower GPA, you may not be doing well in classes, and accelerated programs are so much harder than just like normal like everyday classes. It's a lot quicker. You're doing multiple hard classes at the same time, and it's a lot of work. Also, some schools require a letter of recommendation. I applied to 3 schools. 2 of them required letters of recommendation and 1 didn't. So make sure that you build rapport with your professors in school now. Hopefully you're still, or like with someone in your close family or close family friend or someone you worked with or someone that can really attest to your skills and your like academic skills, your personal skills, like all types of things about you. Make sure they know you really well. I'm not the best at talking about personal statement, or sorry, about letters of recommendation. I'm not like positive about like, you know, everything that goes on it. You pretty much don't see the person or the, I keep saying personal statement. You don't see the letter of recommendation. You can waive your right to see it, which usually you should do, because the school will then think that you're like seeing it. It's whatever. Pretty much most schools will require a letter of recommendation because they want to see how other people view you and how other people talk about you and see you studying, see you doing in a program like an accelerated nursing program. So make sure you build rapport with some people so that you have those options and that you're not just like scrambling to find someone random to write you a letter of recommendation. I know that was really hard for me personally to build rapport with my professors, just because it's like you see them once or twice a week and you just go to class and whatever, but it's really like important to build rapport with them, especially if you want to go into a program where you need a letter of recommendation, even like a graduate program. Last things I wrote were, it's not going to be anything that you haven't done before because you have to have a bachelor's degree to get into these programs, right? So you've been a student before, you've studied, you know what taking tests are like, you know what studying is like, you know what going to class is like. It's the same thing, except it's just a little bit harder and it's quicker. You're going to get through it not in 4 years, but in 12 to 18 months. So, yeah, and it's going to be all nursing. You're not going to do like language arts and social studies. Like, it's not going to be that. A lot of nursing programs don't recommend having a job just because of how hard they are and how much time they take of your schedule, but it is possible. I've heard, again, I don't know my plan about having a job in nursing while I'm in nursing school. I think I may. But I watched a video of this girl that was in a nursing program, and she pretty much put it this way, which I thought was a really cool way of putting it. You have good grades, a job, and a social life. You can only have two. You definitely want good grades. You want to do well in your nursing program. So you put that down, so you either have a job or you have a social life. So, I mean, it's only 12 to 18 months of your life, and I know, like, maybe some of you, like, oh my god, giving up my social life sounds really bad, but if you need the money, it's possible. You could work on the weekends. I know a friend of mine that went to an accelerated nursing program. He worked on the weekends. It's possible, so just keep that in mind. And then the last thing I wrote was cost, which I don't know why I wrote that, because I can't tell you how much your program is going to be. It definitely ranges by state and also just in general. Like, one school I applied to was, I don't mind saying also, like, telling you guys how much these schools were, because I just don't really care about that type of stuff. I'm paying for it. So, yeah, one school I applied to was $30,000 for the whole program. Like, for, not, like, uniforms, like, scrubs, that stuff is, like, separate. But for, like, you know, the program, it was $30,000, and then two of the other schools, including the one I'm going to, are $60,000. The school I'm going to right now is a private school, which is the main reason it's $60,000. It's very expensive. I will be paying loans for a long time after this. But yeah, so it just depends. So check that if that's a huge issue for you. You can apply for federal student aid. I think that's what it's called. Student aid, federal loans, anything like that. There are options, so make sure to keep that in mind. And that's all I wrote down. I hope I'm not missing anything. Just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, but if this is something you're really passionate about, like I am, it's totally worth it. So I hope this helped some of you guys, any of you guys, and I hope to make videos very soon in the future. I already have my schedule, and I bought scrubs already. We have like uniformed scrubs that we have to buy, and shoes, and I've already like been to the school a couple of times and like toured it. My school that I'm going to is really small. I like that. So far I'm commuting. I may end up living closer to the school though. I live about like a 45-minute drive without traffic but there will be traffic, so we'll see how commuting goes. But yeah, I keep saying and I'm gonna go, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys later.